Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So if you saw my previous video, you'll have seen where I was actually evicting my worms from my worm castings that I've had in long-term storage over the winter. Now, I wasn't going to show you this, but I thought I would do anyway. So there's a little backstory behind Jerry, the escaping worm. One night, my son goes outside and he calls me, and he's got this huge worm in his hand and goes, "Mum, is this one of yours?" I go, "Yeah, that's Jerry. He's a bit of a rebel and he's always escaping." And my son just looks at me and he goes, "Well, could you put Jerry back to bed?" So I go, "Yeah, okay." But the thing about this is, obviously, you can't really tell worms apart that much, but this big worm of mine seems to keep getting out all over the place. It's true that it might not be the same worm, but this adult red wiggler that I've got, I find it out all over the place. Now, the thing you need to know about in here where I am is that it's an outbuilding with a concrete floor, and I do indeed have quite a few of my worms that do escape the tower. And the smaller ones, if I don't check in here for a few days, I'll often find them dead because they can't survive on this dry concrete. But the bigger ones, if I catch them early enough, I will get them. Now, I mentioned in the last video that somebody had complained about the low level hum, and I pointed out that just there's a huge chest freezer. On top of that chest freezer is my dog's travel crate. It's got a towel in it. It's just a wire cage, like a travel, as a crate. And so I'm trying to get in the freezer one day, and I moved the crate off the top, and bearing in mind I've just said it's got a towel in it for her to sit on when she's in the car, and lo and behold, there's this big worm underneath, and I'm like, how on earth did you get on top of my freezer and survive underneath a towel? But it's this big adult worm. And so when I went to film the last video, this tub, I moved it and put it outside, but I checked in it first. And lo and behold, there's one of the great big red wigglers in it. And so I wasn't going to show it, but this is actually my pre-composting bin, and that's why I've not moved anything yet, because that huge worm was on top of here. So I thought, I wonder if he's going to still be there. I mean, I call it he and I call it Jerry, but really, seriously, I've no idea. It's just become a standing joke that I find this great big worm everywhere. So I thought, I wonder if it's still going to be there when I take this off. So let's have a look. Ah, well, he isn't. Oh, I have got a big slug though, look. These are friends. This is not a leopard slug, by the way. That's not to be confused as a leopard slug. They're called green cellular slugs. Sorry, my brain had a blank at the moment. I'm exceptionally tired. It's first thing in the morning, and I have bilateral trigeminal neuralgia, and so I suffer with brain fog, and my brain doesn't always pick things up. But our dog, my son's big border collie, used to have this space as his own because he was an outside dog. And he used to feed these in the winter. He used to put food out of his crate specifically to feed these slugs. And I'm really surprised that this is in here, because since we lost that dog 2 years ago, he was called Kai. I'll insert a photo of him. He was stunning. But yeah, since we lost Kai, these slugs generally don't come back in here anymore. So I'm quite surprised to find it in here. But this is one of the good guys. These won't go after your live plants. So I don't mind that he's in there. But yeah, that worm. There we go. Here he is. Seriously, dude, how did you get in there? I did not put this worm in here. And you can tell he's an adult red wiggler because He's got the raised clitellum there. So there you go. I know, it's just a silly little thing, but because Mark, Mad Hatter, he'd said Jerry ought to have his own channel, really, you know, his own storyline. And so when I found him in here, I thought of Mark. So hi Mark, here's Jerry. Just a little bit of nonsense, but here he is, and you can see how huge he is as well. I mean, you know, I do show the worms, but I don't know, I just keep finding a random huge worm, and maybe it's not the same worm every time, but the fact that I keep getting this really large worm all over the place in this outbuilding is quite astounding. But he doesn't seem too happy in the tower and keeps getting everywhere else. But the other reason I've mentioned it is because he is an adult, I'm going to put him in that small breeder bin and see if he's a bit happier in there. So just a short one to give you the backstory on Jerry the Rebel Worm. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you liked this short story about Jerry the Rebel Worm. And seeing as though we found this slug, my son's dog, Kai, who's no longer with us and he's very sadly missed, but he also used to randomly feed slugs. I don't know what's wrong with the animals I have, but there we go. They're all crazy. Thank you for joining me on this, and I hope it brought a smile to your day. Bye for now.